Alrighty, give me 1 second as I'm setting this thing up. One momentito. Alrighty, give me 1 second as we have this momentito just start to come in for a landing in your experience, in your body, mind, feeling what it feels like to be in the system of you, in your own body, in this moment, on this planet, in this lifetime, with everything else that's going on. Um, and this practice is a somatic inquiry practice, meaning we are going to go in, feel what it feels like to be in our bodies, and be curious as to how that all lands and what it means and all that kind of juicy stuff. So it's all in the interest of tuning into your body mind as a more fluid experience of being, so we can start to release some of the crampy holding patterns that may be blocking our energy or blocking our flow. And often we don't even know they're there until we encounter them and we're like, oh, maybe there's a tension here that I can let go of. So today we're going to work with sound. And it's a few different sounds that are going to play in different parts of our mouth in the interest of kind of vibrating our brain, our nervous system, but in a very harmonious, down-regulating, gentle way. So we're going to start with the sound. Actually, let's just start with a theta breath. A soft hiss. It's a s, like your tongue is just behind your teeth. There's no vocal cord action. It's just the breath coming through from behind your teeth. So dental, tongue, teeth. Easy, easy diffusion of air coming out of your body. And that will last as long as it lasts. And then whenever you feel like you want to, you inhale again. So you're not forcing it. You're not trying to push it, make it last forever. You're really working with feeling, listening, letting go, becoming aware of your own system as it is living, alive in this dynamic process of being. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to invite in micro movement. So we're not locking the body down, stopping it from doing anything. We're allowing expression. We're giving permission to our body mind to move, to be alive, and to express itself. Inviting our awareness to come really brightly online in our experience so that we are noticing the fact that we are aware and what is happening within that awareness. Awareness and awareness of experience, and not fighting what's happening, but allowing what's happening. Awareness isn't fighting anything. It's all just there. And in a natural state within our body, there will be these little natural micro contractions, micro expansions. They're happening all the time. Even with that breath, with this, we're putting a little bit of we're using our body to regulate the air coming out of our mouth. So we're not just letting it all out. We're being a little more specific with that. So playing with that a couple more times. Notice what happens when you come into sensation in your body. If it feels threatening and you feel like, oh, I don't want to feel that, I don't want that to happen, what if you did let it happen? What if you did feel it? Let things move through your system. Allow your system the vitality of expression. Taking resting breaths whenever you want them. bringing your senses online so you can sense physical sensation, movement, airflow, breath flow, the sounds around you, maybe the sights, smells, temperature, humidity, all the things. And anytime you come up against noticing something going on that you may have resistance to, you may want to change, control, fix, just say to yourself, oh, that's what's happening. So it doesn't have to be, I got to go in there and fix this and change that, and oh, I just got to do this over here. Let all of that go and just go, that's what's happening. It's okay. That's what's happening. Inviting micro movement, micro stretching, micro contractions, micro spirals, micro undulations to happen inside our body. If we're holding rigidly still, that can involve a lot of tension. So just allowing the body of water that you are to have an internal flow that's ongoing. Multiple flows are going on in there. Energetic flows are happening. Fluid flows are happening. The flow of life is happening. The flow of thoughts may be happening. Isn't it funny that I do the flow of thoughts like in a horizontal line? What if the flow of thoughts is like this? What is your flow of thoughts doing? How is it moving? If you were to make a dance out of your flow of thoughts, what would that be looking like? That's my flow of thoughts, or that's my flow of thoughts. It can be different at any given time, but just noticing it and changing it, turning it on its side so it's not so much of a mental construct, but maybe it's more of an experience in your body. This is my flow of thoughts, or this is my flow of thoughts. Bringing it into movement, right? We're embodying it in a different way, just for play, to make it interesting. So we're going to move more into sound, and sound that has vocal cord action. And the first one is really going to be like a guttural like You can play with moving that sound around in the back of your throat. And it might be that you change your pitch slightly to play with it a little bit, but just playing with I like to kind of open and close my mouth and see if I can open my throat, like almost like I'm going to yawn to to bring the sound and the vibration in lower. I would say that this sound is one of the more challenging ones for me. It's not as, I don't know. It may be different for you. It may be hard. It may be easy. Don't worry. Just play with it. Trying to keep it back there in that guttural. So it's like an like this kind of And then we're gonna change. We're gonna move it. So it's gonna go from an to a an ng sound. So we're gonna go like pang, pang, So we're letting the sound kind of do its thing, and then it moves to the and then we go back to the and you're just going to feel the movement in your throat, the movement of your tongue, the movement in your throat, how those vibrations play out in your body. And start to let the ng sound, the go to a n. So it's like your tongue is right behind your teeth. So we're going to go n. You can feel in your face how the placement of sound is totally different for those, and you can move back and forth. So just feeling what it's like for your tongue to mobilize in that way and for the sound to be in different places in your face. Don't worry about making a good sound or that you're singing or anything like that, or what you're saying matters. None of that. We're just playing with it to see what it feels like, what feels different. If I move a little bit, does it change the way that I perceive it in my face? So we want to stay really in the inquiry with this of feeling like, what is going on? What does this even feel like? What's happening in there? So back and forth again from the to the to the n. So UH to NG to N. Uh, uh, and then we're going to take it back out through the mouth. So it's going to be and then we'll take the into an oo. So it's like we're closing it back up. So it's going to go just, no. UHNG ooh. It's kind of complicated, but if you go somewhere else and you end up playing with something totally different, that's fine too. No. Once you get to the ooh sound, let yourself play with shaping your tongue, shaping your mouth, let lips opening and closing slightly like a little petal or a flower in a very free flow way. So we're not trying to super duper control it, but we are using a lot of techniques in our throat, in our tongue to make these sounds move in and out and then kind of open and close. So I'm playing a little bit with the overtones at the end of that. I'm not sure. We do have original musician sound on, so maybe it's coming through for you, maybe it's not. And you don't need to go at the same tempo as me. Like ideally, this is just a little map, and then we're going to kind of go off-road. Take the ideas, we know how to drive the car, but let it play out so that it's not so specific. We're going from station to station in the same sort of distance as we kind of go a little bit more wild with it, which could sound like this. Na, 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 just to play with it. And it's like it's great if you can play in a way that you're not planning the next stop, you're not planning the next location, you just start to let it play out. And you're trying not to go for repetition where you create a pattern that's followable. You're trying to go for a little more chaos where you start to break up your own patterning. Like, this is how I do something. I go from here to there to here to there. But this is where instead of doing that, you're going to go, whoop, don't know. And now you're going to go somewhere different if that's comfortable for you. This is how we start to open our bodies up to being different, right? Oh, I just did something completely new. It doesn't feel like me at all, right? That's how we invite in different responses by it's not going to feel like what you feel like as you being the personality ego that is you. But when you start to let that wash away and we're just sound and vibrations and explorations, becomes a very different experience of being. So playing with it in total free flow, and maybe something different comes in. Allow yourself to move if you want to. Na, 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 na. Na. after you finish playing out your sound, every once in a while, just close your eyes, take a deep breath in, give yourself a light and short breath hold, not where you're squeezing it all in, but where you're just relaxing into nothing happening for a second. And maybe even within there, there's a little micro movement. So you can let the sound play out, take an easy inhale, and then just hang out in that space for a couple of seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds, however long you want to play with that. We're not going for like Wim Hof breath holds here or Tumo breath holds. We're just going for gentle stuff so that we can feel into our system more. Na, 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 So as I go into that short breath hold, I feel a lot of excitement welling up inside my body. I can feel my heart beating pretty intensely, and I can feel internal movement. And like part of me is saying, take a deep breath in. But another part is just saying, just relax and hang out. It's okay. So I'm working with my nervous system to feel the tension, but also to relax on top of it. This is not so that I can take on more tension and not have good boundaries. It's the opposite. It's so that I can really know where my boundaries are. Mm, no, now it's time to breathe in, or now I'm fine. I can stay with this for a while. But we want to honor our system and be in coherence with our system. So coherence means the system is operating harmoniously together. My blood flow, my circulatory system, my respiratory system, my organs, my hormones, all the things are working together for me to be in a healthier state of flow so that I am able to digest my food, assimilate whatever needs to be assimilated, part of the metabolism digestion process. So we want to find that health where we're not fighting against ourselves in our experience. And so this is kind of like, what is this weird shit that we're doing? We're playing with vibration in the interest of, we're doing a lot with our nervous system as we do this. It will most likely find some deep down regulation, which is the rest, digest, soothe, and settle. But then when we add those longer exhales and the breath holds, then we are adding a little bit of excitation to the system. And we're working with that in a way that feels symbiotic, healthy, good. Let's do it a couple more times. I'm already starting with my mouth closed. So any free flow mouth movement, tongue, jaw, letting the sound move to the different parts, guttural, soft palate, hard palate, behind your teeth, lips, so labial, dental. Some people call that cerebral, some people call that palate, and then the guttural, but it could be soft palate, hard palate, behind the teeth and the lips. So as I'm in there, some of my inner dialogue is, can I relax more? Can I let go? Can I relax? Is it okay to stay here in this sensation? Is there anything I can let go of while I'm in here? Giving yourself the opportunity to rest whenever you want to, just to rest and let your body receive all of this activity. Depending on your level of subtlety, it may seem like we're not doing anything, or, oh my God, we're doing so much. So, and on any given day, that could be very different in your own body. I highly recommend that you come back to these explorations and do them again so that you see how different it can be just from day to day, that we're constantly riding the real wave of reality of each moment is always diversely different. But if we lock ourselves into the predictive processing of our brain of, oh, this is how it is, and I already know this is over there, this is here, this is how I am, then we're shutting down our reality. We're losing freedom and flow. But if we start to open that up, we go, oh, okay, that's what's happening. We're in a more spacious, open place. So I'm going to add music and get down on the floor. I might do some sounding, but probably I'll just be doing movement exploration. So you are welcome to do that in any way that feels good to you in your body. And it's not that we're just these globs that don't have any like muscle tension or anything. It's that we use it, we release it, we move, we're in dynamic, energetic flow. So things are shifting and changing within our system all the time. It's not, it's not locked up. All right, this is going to be ambient fields again. Let's go with album number 3, song number 1. This is guitarist Jeff Gersh doing work in Iceland. It can be found on Bandcamp. Oh, I have a kitty here with me. She's been practicing the whole time. Just offering your body the chance to explore. You could stay seated, you could be laying down, you could be standing up. But come into a landing in your body as if you have never been in a body before and you don't know what it can do. So it's like, what is it like if I try this? Can I do that? Letting yourself go out of your norm, right? What does an adventurer do or an explorer do? They go away from what they know into the unknown. So invite that into your physical experience. Curiosity and humor, the keys to being able to be in there without too much hara, right? Just be curious. What happens if I just do this? What if I let go of that? What if I really allow myself to experience my emotions? What if I lean into the things that I've been avoiding as opposed to leaning away from them? What will happen then? Maybe you start to feel the energy of your own system. It could be the Kundalini, the PT, the energetic flows in your body. We can come to our body from this sort of thinky, objectified experience where we're having like images of our body and thoughts about our body. Or we can come to it from the phenomenological experience of feeling what's going on, feeling what it feels like. And then the next layer, which I'm trying to lean into here with all this sound, is the layer of actually just being vibration. Awareness vibrating, or the vibration of experience within awareness. Yeah, I spend a lot of time working on awareness practices and non-duality, and there's a big like let's awaken, let's wake up. And then there's liberation, let's liberate. And I do feel like these deeper embodied practices do both things. They start to wake you up, and they also start to free you up. So you're starting to free up some of the old patterning that may have held you back. And it might be like beyond your family. It might be like ancestral tension patterns that are in your DNA that you are now starting to unwind, offering the chance to sort of release some of this deep ancestral stuff that's in there. Or it might be yours. It might be, oh, this thing happened to me yesterday. Go into your experience of your being a body mind, an energetic living system. And start to face up to the things you might be avoiding, right? You want to clear up, clean up, wake up. You got to bring the body along. And you don't have a choice anyway. The body's there whether you acknowledge it or not. But if we do it skillfully with awareness and loving kindness and gentleness, slowness for our body, it can be really delicious. Just imagining that you are a body of water pouring yourself around. Water knows gravity intimately, the intimate relationship between water and gravity. So all you got to do is move a little bit and you can feel where down is, right? If you're in the water, it's harder to know. If we don't see the bubbles going up or if we're not oriented. But if we are just being in our body of water on the earth, we can feel gravitational pull holding us here on the planet, letting us know that we belong here. No matter what your story for yourself is, if you are here, you belong here. Allowing movement to wake up our neurological connections, our neurons, as they are our neuroplasticity, our body-mind connection, right? When we move, it's a lot easier to be aware of something. And when we move slowly, it's a lot easier to be present with our movement. It is human to reach. It is human to grasp. What about just coming in, allowing ourselves to return energetically to ourself and to ourselves? There's a sort of natural growing and shrinking that's going on at all times on a sort of cellular level. We don't just go out, we don't just come in. There's always going to be both things happening. And when that's sort of happening in a balance, we are in a healthy homeostasis, right? Where there is movement within that space. But it's stable enough. connected down to the earth, connected up to the heavens, and alive in the middle, alive between the heaven and the earth. Inviting in all parts of ourself, all the shadowy dark parts, all the bright and shiny parts, all the big expansive parts, all the little tiny, tiny parts, inviting it all in. It's there anyway, right? So we might as well be kind to it. Invite it in. Wow, like it's so warm here. It's been in this heat wave, and I can feel like the heat around my body and in my body. My heat aura. Sometimes your awareness may be very micro, like in one little area, and sometimes it might be very macro, and it might be pinging back and forth between those. Sometimes when we're in these explorations, it's easy to feel the things in your body that are uncomfortable. So you want to let that happen. You can really hone in on those uncomfortable, injured parts or those parts that are icky, but try to start to also feel what feels good so that you may be in the uncomfortable, but you're going to search around and find something that feels okay, some part that feels pleasurable. Like we are not supposed to just feel bad all the time. Pleasure is allowed and even welcomed, right? It could be, oh, I feel really good. That's a good thing. We want to feel good. I'm going to stop the music. I'm just taking a couple of minutes to process the processing, to give yourself a chance to come back into yourself more. It can be pretty outer space or deep inner space when we're in those explorations. Might not be a good place to operate heavy machinery from. So always give yourself a chance. Like in yoga, you would, in a good class, have shavasana at the end, letting your body receive what you've done before charging off into the world. And it's the same with this. We want to make sure to go slowly, to take time. And these type of explorations, like you could do it for a short period of time, but I feel like the longer, like when you start to take longer dives and just have your own music or do a few in a row, go in there, spend some time, let your body unwind, let the patterning, cultural patterning, familial patterning, political patterning, whatever it is, the stuff that's got you, just let it start to compost away, finding the richness from that material.